Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and I am in what I think is probably one of the most gorgeous places I've ever been in my entire life. Check that out. I am here on my honeymoon actually with Kaden. We got married about a week ago and have been staying at Palua Peth, which is an island off the coast of Raja Ampat in Indonesia, and have been having the best time. It's incredible here. This place is literally an island paradise. I'm really leaning into my island aesthetic with the curly hair, which you guys won't see very often because this is really vacation hair. But I wanted to sit down today and film a couple videos, one of which you guys may have already seen, which is me talking about our stay, our experience being here at Raja. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, definitely check it out because it was such an amazing time. But also I wanted to film a secondary part to this video, which is talking about my reading plans for this trip, which is kind of funny. I just figured it would be fun to film a little video seeing how many books I could read on this trip. And so far I'm doing pretty well. I've actually completed 3 books in the last week while we've been here at Palua Peth, and I thought it would be fun to document the experience of just being able to see how many books I can get through in about a week. So this will be part 1 of me talking through the books I've already read, and then as the video continues, we'll keep going through and kind of talk through the rest of the books that I hopefully get to while I'm here, as well as my TBR. So let's jump into it. I've read, like I said, 3 books so far while we've been here. The first of which was a recommendation from a beautiful YouTuber that I follow. I'll insert her picture and title here. And she recommended from one of her TBR videos, Emma M. Lyon, the unsolicited journals of Emma M. Lyon. And I listened to that actually on the 17.5-hour flight to get to Singapore from Los Angeles. It was a doozy, but we did have business class, so that was pretty nice. So I did finish that one actually in its entirety on the plane. The audiobook I think was only about 3 hours long, so it was a pretty quick read, and I actually really enjoyed it, so that was a really good time. I'll see if I can insert some sort of footage in this video of me actually reading the books, but that was the first one. The second one that I've read so far was Onyx Storm. I finally am caught up on the Imperium series. I'm so excited. I'm not gonna lie, being here, I listened to the audiobook and I did have to like triple time speed the last 2 hours or so of the book because my audiobook was expiring and I have no service out here. So I think I'll probably, once we get home, reread the last like 100 or so pages just to refresh and make sure I got all of the details, because I feel like those last 100 pages in any Rebecca Yarros series or book needs to be like really invested in. I also might listen to the Fantasy Fangirls podcast to really absorb everything that I retained from that book. Then I also, just as of yesterday, ended up finishing Howl's Moving Castle, which was really exciting. It's very different from the book, the book is very different from the movie, but I did really enjoy reading that one so far. So I've been really having just a great time. My phone is on airplane mode. I'm fully embracing vacation mode, and I'm really trying to see if I can read 10 books in this next week that we're going to Bali. I don't know if it's going to be quite as relaxing of a vibe as this whole experience has been, although we have been scuba diving multiple times a day while we've been here. So it hasn't just been relaxing and reclining, but it's been a good time. It's been fun. So those are the 3 that I finished so far in the week that I've been here. We're here for another week, not here, but we're in a honeymoon for another week. And let me tell you guys about what I'm hoping to get to the rest of this video, and we'll do kind of a fun vlog style because I think that'd be cool for this next part of the trip. Let's do it. Let me grab my TBR. Okay, so regrettably I don't have any physical books because that would have been a total pain to pack with the amount of books I'm trying to read on this trip, but I do have my Kindle. This is an Amazon Fire. I got this gifted as a Christmas present years ago, and it's definitely saved me when traveling like this for long periods of time because it's got everything I need right here. Okay, so I've quite a few books to run through that I would love to get through in the next week. We'll see how many of these I end up achieving. But first, let's talk about my Kindle. So I have quite a few books here on my Kindle that I would really, really love to get to. The first is the new release in the Pumpkin Spice Latte series, which is Daisy Chain Flower Shop by Laurie Gilmore. This is definitely on my top of the list because this came out May 5th. I read these books in like 2 days, so if I can get through this, I'm going to be very, very happy about that. The next one I have is Three Dark Crowns. This is part of my 26 books to read in 2026. It's one of my YA books that I'd love to get to and just see if I like the series. You guys know I'm trying to get through more of the YA books and kind of move them through my shelf life. I think I'm a little past the age for YA now, but I'm enjoying reading it. So some of the things that I've been picking up this year I've actually really enjoyed, like the Supernova series or the Anarchist. I think it's Anarchist series from Melissa Meyer. That one's been really good. So again, there's always hidden gems within the YA world, but that one is definitely on the list as well. Then I also have another, I think it's YA or like young adult. This one is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I would love to be able to get to this one. This is just a series that I've had on my shelf for far too long, and I just feel like it's not a very long book series, so I'm hoping I can get to that one as well while I'm here. Then I want to continue on in my series of The Menagerie. I actually, again, for me, I think age ranges within a book. If you enjoy a book, I don't think it really matters the intended audience for it. Enjoyment of a book is enjoyment of a book. That's my hot take. But I really enjoyed, you guys know, I've talked about this in several of my book videos. I'm in my magical zoo era. Anything from like a magical zoo realm, I really want to read. So I have loved actually the Menagerie series that I picked up by 2T Sutherland and Carrie Sutherland. And I want to continue on in the series. So the second book in the series is Dragon on Trial. I think this one looks so cute, and it's part of Kindle's Unlimited. So if I can get to this and the third book in the series, I will officially have completed that series, which I'm very excited about and sad, because then that means I need to find another magical zoo recommendation, which you guys have been coming in clutch with the recommendations. If you guys have any more, let me know down in the comments below. Let's see, what else do I have in here? I would love to also get to another series continuation, which is Apprentice of the Villain. Whoop. This is book 2 by Hannah Nicole Meyer. This is the Villain series. I think this one would be really cute to finish. It left off on a cliffhanger in book 1, and I'm intrigued enough to continue on in the series, so I'm excited about that. And then I think that's kind of my hot picks for right now from like a Kindle perspective. If I can get through those 5, I will be really thrilled about that. I do have a couple other things on here. The Baby Dragon Cafe, The Fellowship of the Ring from Lord of the Rings. I don't know if that's quite the vibe. That feels more like a fall book read to me. And Wolf Song by T.J. Klune are also some ones that I have available on my Kindle Unlimited. So if I can get through the 5 that I listed, that would be great, because that would mean I hopefully can get to almost 10 books, which would be amazing. But wait, there's more. I also have my Libby app, which I'm really trying to be better about listening to audiobooks this year. I feel like I go through phases with audiobooks where I read and listen to a ton, and then I don't listen to them for months. And I feel like it's just such an easy way for me to get through more books quickly. And I want to make sure I do that. So, okay, a couple that I have at the very top of the list, mainly because the timing is expiring soon on them, and I would love to get to them. The first one is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This one is one that's been on my TBR for quite some time. I feel like the concept of it is just so interesting, and I would love to be able to finish this one. It's been reading actually pretty quickly, which has been nice. I've been listening to it for a little bit, and I'm about 10% of the way through, so hopefully that's one I can finish either today, by the end of today, or tomorrow, because my audiobook expires tomorrow. Another one I would love to get to while I have it is We Fell Apart by E. Lockhart. This is the third or fourth, I think this is the third book in the We Were Liars series. I read the first two, I read the first one and the second one last year and really enjoyed it, and then I watched the show with my friend, and so that one was a really good time. But if I could finish this and be fully caught up in the series, I think in its entirety, I think this is the last one, I think. Yeah. Oh, I read 3 because I read Family of Liars. Is there 3? No, that's the second one. Either way, I have the newest one in the series that came out, I think, last year, earlier this year, and would love to get to that one as well. Then let's see what else we have on here. Oh, The Spell Shop. So I have The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. She is an author. I've purchased multiple of her books, and I still have yet to read a single one, but I just know I'm going to love them. So, and I'll be honest, 98% of that is purely from whoever's doing her cover art. Chef's kiss, it's so good. But that is definitely one I would like to get to as well. I also have You've Reached Sam, another one of my YA books that I just think is going to be really, really good. I just have a good feeling about it. This is by Dustin Tao, and I think it's going to be spectacular. I just need to read it. So this one is due in 6 days. I also have the next 2 in the Emma M. Lyon series, The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, volumes 2 and 3 by Beth Brower. This are 2 that I would love to get to because the audiobooks are so short. They're 5 and 7 hours. I can crank through those so quickly. I think I can definitely get to it before we come home. What else? I also have Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I do also have the audiobook of Apprentice to the Villain, so I could audiobook it and read it physically. So that would be a double duo. I have Wings of Starlight by Allison Shaft. This is that fairy one that came out, I think, last year. I've been dying to read this and I still haven't gotten to it yet, so this is my time to read that. I also have The Tattooist of Auschwitz, which is another one on my 26 to read in 2026 by Heather Morris. This one would definitely be high up on there. And then, oh, this is the one I want to get to. I also have Stephanie Garber's Once Upon a Broken Heart series that I need to start. I have yet to read any Stephanie Garber, and I just think I'm going to really enjoy her. So this is on there as well. So that's a lot of books to read in the next week or so, but I actually think I can do it. I've been putting my phone on airplane mode. I haven't had any connection to the outside world for the last week, which has been really good for me mentally, I think. And I've just been cranking through books. So with that in mind, I think I can do at least, okay, I've read 3. If I can get to 10 books on this trip, which is a feat, but if I think I can do it before we land back in Los Angeles, I'm going to be really excited about it. So plan for the rest of the day is actually going to be packing up. We're leaving for Sarong today to go back to Jakarta to get to Bali. So it's going to be a bit of a travel day. So again, I think I can crank through a few different books while I get on a few different flights today and tomorrow. So hopefully that's the case. We will see how that goes. But as I finish and kind of update you guys as I keep reading through some more books, I will keep you guys informed on how that's all going. But yeah, for right now, I'm gonna have to finish up filming some videos, go pack up, and then we leave our beautiful paradise, which I'm very sad about. It's been an amazing trip. So yeah, hopefully part 2 will also be fun for you guys. It'll be a fun vlog style too. I think I'll try to throw in some fun Bali footage. But yeah, just keep watching and we'll see how many books I end up getting to in the next week. Wish me luck. Brief interlude from Taylor of the Future. As I was editing this footage from this vlog, I realized that some of the files got corrupted, which is heartbreaking. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm me from the past and tell you guys what I basically was talking about in the clip. So essentially the clip that is missing from this portion of the video is me talking about the status of where I'm at pretty much in the middle of the vlog. So at the point of this video, we had just landed in Bali and I was checking in with you guys on the 2 books that I finished on the flights over to Bali from Sarong? Yeah, from Sarong or Jakarta, one of those flights. We had a lot of flights in the days leading up to that point in the video. So I had actually completed the Memory Police as well as the Daisy Chain Flower Shop, which brought my total books read up to that point in the video to 5 books, which is crazy. So I was really excited about that. I was basically telling you guys about how we had a lot of things planned while we were in Bali. Spoiler alert, that led to not as much reading time. But nonetheless, I was still very excited about it and was telling you guys kind of the loose reading plans that I had at that point, of which mainly included reading on Kindle the 3 Dark Crowns book by Kendara Blake, as well as, what else was I reading at that point? I think I was also listening, that's right, I listened to The Spell Shop on audiobooks. Those were kind of my 2 reads that I was in the middle of at that point in the video. And yeah, I was very excited to be telling you guys. So yeah, without further ado, that's where we're at this point in the video. I finished 2 more books. I was hyped. My goal is to read 10 books by the end of this video. We'll see if that happens. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and continue on with the Bali vlog. It's a good one.
Okay, very nice. hit every puddle possible. But let's see him. Let's see the driver. Not a splash on him.
Hi friends, time for a quick check-in on my reading update. We are at the last day of our trip, sadly, last night of the trip, and I've been doing pretty good. I finished Three Dark Crowns, which was way darker than I expected and really intense. So I'm officially up to 6 books, and I've started my 7th and 8th books on the way over here, which were, I think I told you guys, The Spell Shop on audiobook, and now I'm reading the 2nd book in the Menagerie series as my Kindle read. So I think I'm gonna try and finish the Menagerie tonight. If I don't give you guys a final update, I have 2 flights tomorrow, one of which is 17.5 hours. So that's where I think I'm gonna complete the majority bulk rest of my reading. But reading 6 books on this trip has been pretty great. A lot of the books are books I've been wanting to read for a long time. I am very happy with my progress so far on this trip. I want to see, I don't think it's going to happen. My original goal was 10. I think I'm for sure going to hit 10 books. My stretch goal is 15. So we'll see with 17.5 hours of flight if that happens. Fingers crossed. But what most likely will happen is I'll give you guys a final tally reading update once we're back home from the trip. So stay tuned for that. But final check-in here in Bali. We've had the most incredible time. I'm so happy we've been here for the last 6 days. And it's been a lot busier, as probably the clips have shown throughout this video. I didn't get quite as much reading done at this portion of the trip, but that's okay. We had a great time nonetheless. And yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed watching this. And like I said, we'll do a final wrap up once we are home. And just like that, we are back. Hi, friends. So this again was some footage that unfortunately got corrupted when I went to export this video, so we're having to do a quick refilm, which I'm really sad about. But with that in mind, I'm going to do a much briefer wrap up than what I originally had planned for this video, only because I am going to be filming, or actually already have filmed, my April and May wrap up. I'm filming this in June, so it's actually been a little while since we've been back from the honeymoon. So I'm really sad because I had a whole video ending wrap up. Anyways, it is what it is. But let's talk through the 8.5 books that I completed, and then the 2 books that I finished pretty much right when we got back, because I was starting or almost like had opened them up pretty much when we got back from the honeymoon. So without further ado, let me grab the stack and we can talk about it. All right, friends. So this is the stack, not actually including all of the books, but these are the physical books that I read while on my honeymoon. I haven't gotten through this many books in a month or even in a couple weeks in I don't even know how long. I feel like I'm back on my reading game. All I want to do is read now. And I'm so excited because now that the wedding is over and done, the honeymoon's done, I'm just excited to get back to like routine and life, and just I'm excited. I cannot believe I read this many books. It's blowing my mind a little bit. So let's rapid fire through these. If you guys are interested, very shortly after this video, I will be posting my April and May wrap-ups. So if you guys want more details about that, I'll kind of incorporate both between those 2 videos. So yeah, very excited to talk to you guys about that. So first thing I actually read, like I spoke about earlier in the video, that I read 2 books by Beth Brower, which were the 2 Emma M. Lyon series books that I started. I
Loved those both so much. The second one got me into it even more. They're quick little journals essentially following a woman in like the early 1900s, 1800s. The timing is a little vague, but it's so good. It follows her life, the people she interacts with, including her like curmudgeon cousin, a couple men that she's interested in, her best friends, her aunts. It's such a cute little slice of life story that you can read through so quickly. I'm definitely planning on reading through the whole series this year. I'm so excited about it. So loved that. Was so excited to read that and get into a new series. And then I also I read this one on Kindle. I finally read Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wade Jones. This was very different from the movie, let me tell you guys. I grew up on the movie. I love the movie. I wasn't as big of a fan of the book, and I don't know if maybe if I'd read the book first and then seen the movie, if I would feel the same, but this was definitely the perfect like example of liking the movie more than the book, unfortunately. It definitely gave more context to things than the movie did, which I appreciated, but about 2/3 the way through this, it starts very similarly to the movie and then takes a very sharp right turn into a completely different storyline. So yeah, I wasn't totally in love with that. I think maybe because, again, the movie is a little bit more nostalgic for me. It was interesting to kind of see a different version or a different ending, a different storyline of what I knew as Howl's Moving Castle, and to know that this was the source material was very interesting. There's just some modern takes and different ways that I don't want to spoil it, but there's just some different avenues that this book takes that I was not prepared for, as well as the relationship between Sophie and Howl. That took another avenue aspect that I was not expecting. So overall, I'm glad I read this. I enjoyed it. But yeah, that was the next one that I listened to, or sorry, I read this on Kindle. And then I finally am caught up in my read of the Empyrean series. So I read Onyx Storm next, or actually listened to this on audiobook. I really have to go back and listen to or read the last like 100 pages of this, because I feel like that's the case though with every Rebecca Yarros book. I've always gone back and had to revisit the last 100 pages because I feel like everything happens in the last 100 pages. So I will be doing like a synopsis reread at some point with this to finish it out, but I did finish it, but I listened to it on audiobook, and I feel like I just miss sometimes a little bit more when I listen to an audiobook, or I'm not just fully paying attention to it sometimes. So that was definitely the case with this one, because I had to speed through the last like 100 pages anyways, which probably wasn't doing me justice. But regardless, I'm so glad I'm caught up with that. I'm ready for whatever's coming out that she's doing in September. I'm here for it. I like this one more than the second one, but just where they've taken the story I think is really interesting. And yeah, this is just a CW show and a book to me, or like an Amazon Prime show and a movie to me, or like in a book to me. It's so good. Everyone's hot. It's just, they're a good time, and I'm never not going to read this series. It just sometimes takes me a minute to get into the world again because it's been so long in between, but I'm here for it. Okay. Then I read what did I finish? I finished the Daisy Chain Flower Shop, which is by Laurie Gilmore. This is the continuation in the Dream Harbor series. I will always pick these books up. They're such easy reads. I can read them in like a sitting or two. They just read so fast. I enjoy them so much. The world is so cute. I love how much they've built out the world and the characters. It just feels like kind of a hug of a book. I don't even know how else to explain it, but it's so cute. It's so fun. I enjoy reading them so much. And yeah, I was glad I got to catch up in the series with this one. And I think they set us up for the characters in the next book, which I'm very excited about. Then I listened on audiobook to The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This is kind of a 1984 meets The Giver meets just a lot of like classic dystopian. This basically is about an island in which people are run by the memory police, the police task force, where people will wake up randomly one morning and be something will be wiped from their memory. At first it starts out very simply, ribbons, a perfume, fragrances, different things of that nature, and then over time it becomes things more of an intense level, like books and body parts, and it just gets really kind of intense at the end. The ending also for me was a little bit ambiguous. It kind of gives the Giver ending in a way, if you know, you know. which I don't love. I'll be honest, I want everything wrapped up nice and neat in a pretty little bow with a book that I read. So I was unfortunately not super in love with that, but I thought it was interesting. I did get into it, and this is one of those books that just does stay with you after you put it down. So it is interesting. I definitely would recommend checking it out if you are interested in those kind of stories. Okay. Then I read, what did I read next? Then I read The Three Dark Crowns, first book in the series by Kendara Blake. This book is so dark and creepy and like disturbing. I audibly gasped out loud multiple times when reading this and was unprepared for where this book went. I just thought it was wild. I really did. But yeah, I ended up really enjoying it. I thought it was good. I do want to continue on in the series. Again, the last 100 pages really got me. So I do think after stepping away from it, I am invested enough. This essentially follows a story of three sisters, twins, or triplets that are born and essentially have to fight each other to the death to win the crown. So it's crazy. And again, it's one of those books that had been sitting on my shelves for so long that by the time I got around to it, I'm just glad that I, again, kept a book on my shelves, that especially if it's YA, I'm just glad I held on to it because now I'm enjoying it. And this is what this year is about, is getting really old, unread books off of my shelves. So I'm here for it. Then I listened to the audiobook of The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I finally have read a Sarah Beth Durst book. I'm so happy about it. This is so cute. It's very cozy fantasy. I'm in my cozy fantasy era, as you guys know. I'm enjoying it so much. And this essentially follows a woman who is forced to flee her home in a library where the city she's living in is attacked by unrest and political upheaval, and essentially she goes back to her hometown where she grew up on an island and kind of is forced to restart her life and is a bit of a recluse, and so she makes some new friends, and she has a best friend whose name is Kaz, who's a sentient spider plant, who was, I think, by far my favorite part of the book. He's so cute. And yeah, it's got a little bit of romance. It's very pure, it's very high level. But yeah, the romance I thought was cute. The friends I thought were cute. The dynamic I thought was cute. I just enjoyed this, and I knew I would love Sarah Beth Durst, so I'm excited to now have read a book by her and to continue on in this world. I'm excited. I think she's great. So very excited I read this one. Then let's talk about one more. Then I ended up reading The Menagerie, The Dragon on Trial. This is the second book in the Menagerie series. Is a middle grade series essentially about three kids helping to save a magical menagerie. And it's so cute. I really enjoy this. You guys know I've been in my zoo era. This is the second one that picks up like the same day as the first one ending. So I really enjoyed it. They're cute. They're fluffy. They read really quickly, obviously. And I'm really sad because I only have one book left in the series and then we're all caught up. So if you guys have any recommendations again for like magical zoo books of that nature, let me know down in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ones, and I don't care if it's YA, young adult, middle grade. I just am here for it at this point in my life. So let me know down in the comments below. Okay. And then the last book that I finished, admittedly, when we got back home. So again, I ended up completing 8.5 books. No, I ended up completing 8 books, and then I read the last book 2 of the Emma M. Lyon series, and I finished this one when we got home. So completing 10, I'm going to say it, total of 10 books in total within the 2.5 weeks that we were on our honeymoon. But this is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black, yet again, another series that's been on my shelves for so long. This book took me until the last 100 pages to fully admit that I was enjoying myself. I did not like this book up until that point, maybe even the last 50 pages. But at that point, I got hooked in. I want to see what happens in the series. I am intrigued. And again, I'm glad that I finally got to read it and get it off of my shelves in terms of if I liked it or not. And yeah, I'm definitely think I'm going to continue on in the series. I've enjoyed Holly Black's book over the years, and so I was excited to kind of return to her fae world. And other than that, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I will keep you guys posted as I continue on in the series. But overall, that is it, you guys, for the 10 books 10 and a half, 10, 8.5. What am I trying to say? Those are all the books that I read on my honeymoon. I can't believe it. It was such an incredible trip. I'm so happy to be home and back in normal life. It's been a couple weeks, actually, admittedly, since we got back, and life has been crazy, but so good. And now I'm a wife, guys. Wild. Can't believe it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little different from what I normally do, but if you guys do like these vlog style reading vlogs, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to try and make more of them for you guys, do some fun stuff. And yeah, if you guys did like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more of my face, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!